Hi, my name is Sarah James and I'm the project manager for the Mullany Fund e-mentoring project. I'm here today to talk about our entry into the Tech for Good initiative category in the Digital Leaders 100 Awards 2020. I'm particularly excited to talk about our entry, not only because we think it's great, obviously, but because in these COVID-19 times, we think it can have a significant impact on young people working remotely across Wales. So, a little bit first of all about the charity, the Mullany Fund. We were established in 2008 with the aim of addressing inequalities and promoting social mobility. Our e-mentoring project is our flagship project, and the objective of this was to give every young person the opportunity to access a career in the life science sector, building on their strengths and potential regardless of their background. Our focus is life sciences, but we have a very broad definition of this with most areas of science included. We're currently engaging with young people aged 14 to 19 across 5 local authority areas in South Wales. So why social mobility and life sciences? Well, there are some startling figures on the screen in front of you. Currently, about 61% of the UK's doctors were educated at a private school, whilst only 7% of the population receives a private education. Only 15% of scientists, 9% of life scientists and 6% of doctors come from a working class background. Our e-mentoring project is trying to address some aspects of that and the barriers that young people might face to social mobility with a view to ultimately changing these figures. So a little bit of background to the e-mentoring project. The project has been funded by the National Lottery Community Fund and we've been running for the last 5 years. Phase 1 was in Swansea and Neathport Talbot and Phase 2 is Bridgend, Merthyr and Rhondda Cynon Taf. The project funding ends in 2021 and we have plans obviously to secure further funding. But we've already had over 800 students registered for the projects and 31 schools have been engaged in our target areas. So the e-mentoring project comprises of 3 distinct elements and I'm going to address the second 2 first. The Future Roots element provides a limited number of work experience placements for students engaging on the e-mentoring. These include medical, dental and vet placements, which are obviously very important for getting into university courses in these areas. Our Insight Talks, these are essentially careers talks where professionals provide school or online talks. And the main component of the project is obviously the online mentoring, where we have about 574 volunteer mentors from across the life science and science sectors. Students are matched with a mentor based on their stated interests and the mentor's specialities. We run 1 mentoring session per school term and we support the sessions with weekly themes of support and online resources. The mentoring sessions each term last about 8 to 10 weeks. Students complete a short online registration. Mentors from across life science and science sectors are all DBS checked and trained in safeguarding and all messages are moderated using a secure online platform. The weekly themes of support, which are designed for specific year groups, can be seen to the right of the slide. They're all targeted. Our ultimate aim, and this is more relevant to our Tech for Good initiative, was and is to expand over a wider geographical area and have a wider impact for those in need. And our innovation in terms of tech was to try and develop a recruitment, implementation and monitoring process that would be scalable over a wide geographical area, whilst at the same time maintaining the quality and relevance of our support. So, as you might understand, there are several aspects to the implementation of the e-mentoring project, and there are several project tasks associated with each of these elements. I've listed some of these on the left, and they include mentor and student registration, mentor DBS checks, identifying if a student falls into a target category, and matching a student and a mentor. These separate approaches, as you can imagine, took up a large amount of administration time and were also subject to human error. This would be problematic if the project was to scale up. So the aim of our tech development was to integrate activities currently performed separately, but in particular enable effective and targeted matching which could be scaled to a wider number of students and be adaptable to who we were targeting. Crucially, this would reduce administration time, enabling scalability and cost effectiveness, and also reduce error through an automated process. So how did we go about this? So the Mullany Fund commissioned an external consultant to talk with staff to identify all the key functions within the project process to ascertain which could be streamlined and how it might be done. Ultimately, the new system was very effective and is very effective. It's currently capable of suggesting matches based on criteria, which can be adjusted by the Mullany Fund team. For example, match by primary interest only, as you can see on the screen. The Mullany Fund can now manually change match users and reallocate mentees to mentors within the application. And this is crucial because obviously sometimes mentors might withdraw from a session or students might withdraw from a session and they have to be rematched effectively. Crucially for us, the matching process enabled the team to generate information about what we call the traffic light status of a student involved. And this is basically whether they were a target student or not, whether they were on free school meals or they fell into the Welsh Index of Multiple Deprivation, for example. This allowed us to monitor who has been reached within the project with no error, and we can also adjust criteria on this depending on who we want to target. So if we want to change our target in the future, that is possible. Also, for the purposes of the mentoring session itself, the matching process was enabled to generate information on the school of the participant as well as the year group to enable targeted messaging as a means of weekly support. And this was crucial in terms of the impact on the young people involved. What we're very proud of is the fact that we think now the system is capable of matching every child in Wales, should this be where the project would like to go in the future. To summarise then, we've had 5 years of engagement. We've had over 850 students registered and over 544 mentors have volunteered. Every session, around about week 7, we run an exit questionnaire for the young people who've been involved in the session, and you can see that they think the project has had a very positive impact on different aspects of their school and career life. Thank you very much for listening to this talk.